Once again, ciao, hi, hey, hola amigos, it's your boy MKS back with another video. As I was saying, I hope I don't have any technical issues because it seems like I had a few technical issues in my last video that went offline. My laptop for some reason, but anyway, hope everyone's well, and welcome to the third and penultimate part of reasons to support the black community and support black people and their community in America and maybe around the world for Black History Month. As I said before, because it's the 23rd, technically it's still the 23rd now. It's the 23rd, and I think for some reason the number 23 makes me think of like philanthropy, sympathy, empathy, compassion, and all that good stuff. So I'd love to know any reasons you think of for supporting the African American community, black community in America and around the world as well, and also any ways to support them. And I suppose the when is when it could be in February each year. So yeah, I guess the where could be all over the world, online and things like that. In the future, I'd love to visit African American communities and see how I can support them. I'd love to interview African Americans and see how I can support them as an ally or want to be ally. So I think that covers everything for the intro. There's a long intro, but here you go. So number 21, the historical oppression that has been faced by black people around the world, including in America, like the slave trade, colonialism, empire, and all that kind of thing. Loss of land, loss of liberty, and things like that. To recap some of the things I talked about before, I think that's a good incentive, in my opinion, to support the black community in America and around the world, and maybe even finding out about. I talked about the Black Wall Street and things like that. Maybe finding out historical dates of when, historical records of when black people were enslaved, colonized, empirized, or whatever, and that kind of thing. The liberties and rights they've lost generally, and things like that, to try and compensate for that kind of thing. I might go to that point in a few details, but yeah, finding historical dates could be a good incentive, which I suppose is what the why is for doing so. Number 22, more on the how and in the future, seeing what they can achieve. I talked about seeing what they can achieve before now, but what organisations, what individuals and organisations and groups could do to support the black community now and in the future. People talk about Black History Month, but I think it could also be like talking about, I say Black History and Empowerment Month. I think the theme for this year is it's not reclaiming the narratives, it's 100 years of Black History, sorry. I think last year's, in October, in Britain, was reclaiming the narrative, but this year in America, I think it's, for Black History Month, I think it's 100 years of Black History, so it's like 100 years ago since Black History Month was made. So yeah, seeing all the things they've accomplished and appreciating all those achievements, and again the rights that have been taken away from them. But I think one thing is to look to the future as well as reflect on the past. We can reflect on the past and learn from it, I think, but look to the future as well. One thing I think controversially, I know it's a quite controversial view, that is, I often say, like, I don't think black people and other POC or minorities should join the military. In fact, I think the less people who join the military around the world in all possible countries, the better, because there'll be less people to be used as cannon fodder to go to war and that kind of thing, to fight for the elites and all that kind of thing. I know I made my joke about the Illuminati in part 2, but on that note, moving on, number 23, to tackle poverty in America. And again, I love to think more about the how to do so. Companies be supported. How can companies support African Americans and listen to them? And I talked about tax exemptions and things like that, and lobbying for tax exemptions. Politicians and lobbyists and other minorities could help to lobby for basically tax exemptions for companies that invest in black communities and black businesses and things like that. Help more black people to run business, and I hope they get empowered to be involved in the music and movie industries and things like that. Different industries. Normally, I think of I use my alliterations because I'm a bit too obsessed with alliterations. So I'm thinking of music and movies, but also in different areas as well, STEM, business, and all sorts of different areas where they can be empowered and hopefully tackling poverty. I talked about the monetary wealth gap and that kind of thing. Number 24. Again, hope that each February people find out about historical days and dates for African Americans and their history and where they went through oppression and how they had to fight for their rights, and look at how to support them. I thought of like Black Dollar Day and things like that. So I know it's Black Entrepreneurship Day. Black Dollar Day again could go on alliterations, Dollar Day and that kind of thing. I suppose the acronym for that would be BDD. That's a ring to it, but I'd love to know what you think about that as ever. But moving on, number 25. So yeah, finding out about historical events and things that happen. And I'd rather give money to African Americans to support their communities than things like militarism, wars, weapons trade, royal families, and people who have oppressed others historically. I'd rather give money to the people who have been oppressed and the people who have been burglarized and victimized and all that kind of thing, rather than the people who have victimized them, the people who have oppressed them. I'd rather give money to the oppressed than the oppressor, and to things that promote peace rather than violence. How about you? I'd love to know what you think. Number 26, as a form of reparations, and I think all POC especially should be against reparations. But again, I always like to help those who have been oppressed, but hopefully help them to go from victims to victors, if you like. Number 27, hopefully they'll give back. I've talked about like how if me and my fellow Anglo-Indians and other Eurasians and mixed race people, as I jokingly call us mutts, helped the black community, in the future you never know, they might return the favour. So it's something we can do to support each other and work against white supremacy. But again, there could be tax exemptions for others as well. So companies like Microsoft, IBM, Apple, Oracle, Amazon, and maybe worldwide, even Alibaba, and others could be given tax cuts for investing in the black community. Even McDonald's, Subway, Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, and others. I'd love to look into ways to lobby for that. And again, I'd love to read people's ideas and people to get involved in the discussions. Number 28, hopefully we can turn negatives into positives. Again, helping people to go from victims to victors. And number 29, again, I think minorities, including my fellow mutts, should support African Americans and the black diaspora. And I think it makes sense for them to support each other. And I think we should boycott militarism and support each other instead, in my opinion. And number 30, I think there is one way non-black people, non-black women could reparate black guys. But anyway, I won't go to that right now. But anyway, on that rather silly note, I am going to wrap this up and peace of love. Please let me know what you think in the comments. As ever, if you do so kind.